Hey Brad, it's Vince. I thought I would take a quick video for you to show you in particular how this should be set up in case you're still struggling. I haven't heard from you, so I thought I'd shoot this real quick. I meant to send this to you a while ago. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out, use this little thing as a pointer, is this is the top of our carrier assembly. So when you hear that referenced, this is what we're going to consider the very top, okay, this thing here. There's 7 of these, one for each carrier arm. You're going to want, at the stopped position, the height of your transmission needs to come to where between that top of the carrier arm and the trigger assembly, that's the thing with the serial plate on it there. You want that about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of that trigger assembly. So hopefully you can see that gap there. It's kind of blurry. There it is. That's about 1/8 of an inch, okay? That's what you want. That's ideal. Let me zoom back out. Okay, so I'm gonna simulate well, I think I'll just do this to start, okay? We're gonna do this to tell the transmission to run. So real quick, I'm gonna hit the switch off. All right. Just to give you a visual on gaps and things, this should move about like that, okay? This is our control disc. All of these screws are generally at the right spot, and it's you told me you had done the alignment, you know, all the paper comes out smoothly into all these carrier arms. I just got this booth right away, and this is a perfectly straight control disc on the top of the spider assembly. All right, so in a perfect world, that was one cycle, right? So here comes the second cycle. It'll come to a stop. Okay, that wire is hitting that micro switch right there in the center of your screen and stopping. I think you know that, but now I'm gonna hit my test button. This has a credit unit on it, so I have to push the button a certain number of times to start the booth, but I want to film a whole sequence for you. Okay. So right before that third picture, this changed positions to down. To swing that arm out, that paper gets grabbed. That's the bill acceptor you hear there. So that paper is going to go around full circle all the way around, and it'll eventually come here and hit the delivery unit. I'm going to film it anyway, just in case there's something you see here that's helpful. We just took this off a truck and got it going this week, so we haven't done any alignments or anything. It just came like this. That clunking you hear when this goes into this sleeve, you don't want that. You want that to go in silently so it doesn't bang on it too hard. Let's listen. Yeah, that clunk. You want to use your 3 bolts here to get your transmission to the right height and perfectly straight vertically, so that goes into the sleeve silently, or at the very least as quietly as possible. That leads to being perfectly aligned, and then making sure all 7 arms will be able to be aligned enough to grab the paper from your feed down unit, which is this part that brings it out of the camera. Every carrier arm can be perfectly aligned as long as the transmission goes into that sleeve and you're at the right height. So at the very end, when it does deliver, the strip will come out. So we know you line the paper to the carrier arms to the paper feed down unit. And then at the very end, when you're aligning the delivery unit here by loosening and tightening these 2 bolts to kind of shift this around, you don't adjust the carrier arms at that point, you only move this. So there's our strip. Now this will come to a rest here in a second, and then I'm gonna go pick my kid up from school. There you go. So 2 cycles after the delivery unit, it comes up, it hits that micro switch right there in the center, and it stops. And there's a little bit clearer shot of that 1/8 inch gap from the top of our spider assembly to the bottom of that aluminum bar on that trigger assembly in there. Brad, I hope this is helpful. Good luck. Let me know what you need.